Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name is Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
Happy Friday to one and all. Mother's Day weekend, graduations taking place. Very, very wonderful time of year. Going to warm up. Temperatures expected into the mid-80s today and tomorrow, and early next week. Going to cool back down, be more seasonal later. The downside is they're not really talking about any precipitation chances that are all that good through this time period. So now we have very little rain and temperatures unusually high in the mid-80s next few days. So we know it's dry out there, and we want you to be careful with that. And get the sprinklers ready if you want to save the lawn. It seems like that's been a task this year so far. But beautiful weekend. All right, let's take a look here at birthdays, Brent. We have some very significant birthdays.
Okay.
That we should note.
All right.
Something sounds different today. When you're on the air, folks, every day you get used to a sound, and there's a new sound this morning. That's not always good.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I kind of hear it now that you mention it.
Yeah, there's a new sound.
Oh.
It's kind of like, I suppose, if you were a guy and a gal out there and on the farm and you have a piece of equipment and you use it every day, or you love your car and you drive it every day and all of a sudden you hear something different. That's usually not a good thing. But we'll see what happens. All right, birthdays today. First of all, it is Richie Ferre's birthday. Hall of Fame rock player, guitar player, and vocalist. Involved in two iconic bands, Buffalo Springfield and Poco. Had a chance to see Richie out in Boulder, Colorado a few years ago. At the Boulder Theater. And what an interesting guy. Still lives out in that area. And had his daughter up there with him on stage singing with him. It was pretty cool. But when you can say, yeah, I used to play with Buffalo Springfield and Poco, you got some credentials there. And he is 81 today. Also, it is Billy Joel's birthday today.
Oh, there you go.
Billy's 76 and a Grammy-winning Rock and Roll Hall of Famer with dozens of platinum-selling albums. And our local celebrity today that we're aware of is Dennis Higginbotham. Dennis is celebrating his birthday today, and he's as young as he ever was.
Yeah, great. Happy birthday.
So, in honor of Richie Ferre's birthday, here's Buffalo Springfield. Also with Poco, we'll have a little Poco later on for you this morning. And we also have our first guest in this morning. Mr. Williams is here. How you doing?
Good morning. Good, guys.
Aero Aviation.
That's us.
We see you flying around.
Aero Aviation. Sorry, I just couldn't help myself.
Yeah, that's been around for a long time.
It really has. It really has. You're busy.
Yep, we're busy. Of course, everybody knows this time of year the wind blows like crazy, and we've been really lucky the last 2 or 3 days and been in the air a lot.
Yeah.
We'll be in the air here shortly, spraying alfalfa. Bugs in the alfalfa already. It's a little bit early, but been seeing it more and more the last few years. So doing that, and then it's also time to start spraying weeds in pasture. So doing that also. The fires have kind of slowed off. We did that in February and March.
Yeah.
Quite a few fires, everybody knows. So, but
That's one you can't really plan for. Like
no, that one you just the days that it's really windy, it's like, well, have your phone on because that's probably when they're going to need some help.
Yeah. It's amazing how much difference that you and other pilots make when it comes to fighting fires, because we've had a lot of situations where the canyon country, they just can't get in there.
Yep. That's the advantage to the airplane. I mean, a lot of times, or if the wind switches, I mean, if everybody's on one side of the fire and the wind switches, it takes a long time to get trucks around, especially like you said in canyons and all that. There's no quick shot of straight across there, and we can go wherever we need to be. So pretty quick.
And oddly enough, some of those fires you mentioned were not too far from the airport.
Yeah, a couple of them have been pretty close.
Yeah.
So, which is, I mean, it's kind of nice because your turnaround time's so quick.
Yeah.
5-6 minutes and you're back out there. So
when you go up, Jim, do you have a fire retardant in your tank or just water?
Yeah, so we run water, and then it's called Class A fire foam. We put, I think, 2.5 gallons into 800 gallons of water, and it's crazy how long that foam will stay, stays wet. I mean, you can dump some on the ground, and an hour later, that foam's still there. So It helps a lot more. It's a lot better than just water.
Now, Brent, I know sometimes people like to have thrills, right? And roller coaster rides and things like that. But I have to think that being in the cockpit of a plane, trying to put a fire out, it is probably somewhat exciting, but it sounds awfully dangerous to me.
Kind of does. It does to me.
It
probably depends a little bit on the fire and the situation and the way it's going, right?
Yep. Yeah. Sometimes it gets pretty exciting pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well, as you said, wind change direction makes a lot of difference. The velocity, it has been so windy up until just recently, and not only for fighting fires, but for you to be able to get up and do some spraying.
Yeah. About when we're doing herbicide and insecticide work, 10 to 12 mile an hour is about max on the labels, and so around here, sometimes you don't get that. I mean, I know I look at the forecast 100 times a day, but starting Saturday night, I mean, it's 20 to 30 all the way through most of next week. So, yesterday, the day before, and today and tomorrow, we're going to try and get as much done as we can. So,
like mid-80s today, calm winds, a little bit of a west-northwest wind, I think.
Yeah, we like a little direction. I mean, so we know we're, especially doing the herbicide work, because a lot of the stuff we spray pastures with, I mean, it'll kill soybeans, it'll kill alfalfa, it'll kill corn. So, we want some wind so we know where the drift's going to stay off of crops and stuff like that. So yeah, people, it's kind of funny. You'll be sitting at the airport and it's dead calm, and somebody will call and be like, well, we figured you'd be spraying. It's like, well, actually, dead calm is worse than too much wind. So that stuff will just, I mean, you imagine taking an aerosol can outside when it's dead calm and just spraying it in the air.
Okay.
And that stuff will just hang, and some of it might go this way and some of it goes that way. And that's the same thing that the spray's doing coming out of the airplane. So
a little more of a drift then. Yeah.
Yep.
We were talking about noises and equipment and different things, and I think everybody out there who has some sort of a business they're running or working at or farming or ranching or whatever, we wake up in the night sometimes with a little cold sweat because we having a dream about something going wrong.
Yep.
As a spray pilot, I can't imagine. You mentioned that some of the chemicals you use aren't good for crops. Do you ever wake up in the night and go,
Oh yeah, yeah. It's you have some weird dreams.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you wake up and you're like, oh man, that wasn't real. The other night I heard you talking on the way out here about your noise.
Yeah.
And it's the same way in the airplanes. I mean, you get, especially the very first couple loads of the year.
Oh yeah.
You're like, okay, was that little vibration there last year? Was this little noise there? And until you get back into this, and I mean, it's crazy how you can notice that on anything.
Yeah. And for you, it's critical. I mean,
Yeah. You definitely, when something feels different, you try and look at it.
So, are you equipped the same planes last time we talked?
Yep. We still have the same 2 airplanes. Top of the line GPS, all that stuff, flow control, mapping stuff. We can send maps. Kim can send them from the office right to the airplane. So that's pretty handy. You don't have to do the old plat book on the knee. Is gone. I still have some plat books though, because
Well, that's great, and that's probably safer too. Does that come up on a screen?
Yeah, so it'll come up on the screen. You just go into you push one button, and a whole list of the maps comes up, and you pop the one you want, and you can actually set your pattern, and it'll guide you right to where you need to first turn the spray on. So it's come a long ways even since I started. So.
Yeah, no kidding. So 2 planes going as often as you can.
Yep.
Pastures now and
pastures and
crops
alfalfa. Yeah. So I got one airplane's cleaned out that we're spraying alfalfa, and we got some fungicide to put on some wheat here in a day or two, and so it's kind of nice having the 2, so you don't have to clean out constantly.
Yeah, but that would take a lot of time.
It does. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So how long have you been back here in Bow?
I want to say maybe I started spraying in 98, 2000 maybe.
Okay.
2000, 2001.
That's flying by.
Yeah, it's crazy. I thought about the other day how many years I've been spraying. It's like, no, I can't be that many.
Well, it's a family tradition.
Yep.
No doubt about that. Are you able to take more work on right now, or how are you set up that way?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of it just depends, wind direction, stuff like that, and I've got a really good group of friends that are. I mean, we're kind of a tight knit industry. There's not, in the grand scheme of things, there's not a lot of us out there. So, but I've got good friends that if we get real busy, they'll send an airplane or 2. There's times we'll run. If we get a week of wind like coming next week, the next day it's nice, I might have 4 airplanes going. So
I see.
Just to punch out as much as we can.
Okay, so kind of cooperate with one another.
Yep. And then I'll go, in different times if we're not doing much, then I can go help people too. So it works out pretty good.
Yeah. Well, it's fascinating. We love when you come by over the top here and we see you, we know who you are. And, and it's pretty cool to see. And I mean, I think it's amazing to me that you guys do what you do, and the number of incidents or accidents that you have is really, really low considering the dangers are out there.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those jobs. It's as dangerous as you want to make it. I mean, there's, I even still, I'm always just a little bit scared of that airplane, and I think that helps a lot.
That's probably good.
Instead of being like, well, I'm,
Yeah, I've been doing this forever.
Yeah. So, knock on wood.
Yeah.
It keeps going. So.
Yeah. How far away do you? I know you help other business associates. For your own business, typically, how far do you go out?
We cover about a 60-mile circle.
60. Okay. All right.
So, it seems like kind of we'll go to Ravenna, a little bit further, a little bit over around Caro even, and then south kind of down to the valley and Stapleton over to the west and, north, yeah. Brewster up that way, so.
Does that have to do with fuel?
Not so much. It's just it gets to a point to where it's not cost effective to, it just takes long enough to go that way. Or you just charge a little more.
Okay. A question and then another question. What's the best way to do you always have somebody in the office?
Yeah, Kim's usually in the office. If she's not, she'll have the phone transferred to hers. The nice part, our mapping and booking program's all online, so she can take a phone call at home and get it in the system, and so it works out pretty good for that if she needs to be, gone or run somewhere or do something. She's great. I mean, she transfers the phone, and so the office is pretty much whenever. So
okay. All right. I think it's fascinating. I've always thought, I don't know, flying over power lines and down into to get where you need to go and be safe about it. Hats off to you. Do you have any questions, Brad?
Well, I hope it's not too dumb of a question, but
there's no such thing.
I'm fascinated by judging the wind, and so just bear with me. I think about when we play golf.
Yep.
If the wind's blowing a certain direction, we're adjusting, so we're like, okay, the wind's going to catch it, and
Yep.
It's you do that right with you kind of talked about it already with your talk about like the way you've been able to adjust that with your years of experience compared with maybe when you went up for the first few times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The other thing, obviously the more wind across, the closer we can get to that stuff that's susceptible to drift. The less wind, you want to stay a little further back because the stuff will move a little bit. One thing our airplanes have is a smoker system, so it shoots oil into the exhaust. And so if you ever see, you see a puff of smoke come out of it, and that's what we use that for, because that smoke will drift the same as the chemical. So, we can go down along a fence line or something and hit 3 or 4 puffs of smoke, and then when you turn around, you can see which way it's going. So we got all this technology in these multi-million-dollar airplanes, and then it comes down to a little sprayer pump and some paraffin oil going into the exhaust stack. So, but it works.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And by the way, the difference for this situation is that as golfers at our level, we look and we're going to adjust for adjust for the wind, and then we hit a tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I try and stay out of the trees.
But when you're in an airplane, you got to do it right. So, all right. Well, folks, if you have needs out there, the alfalfa, the crops, and so forth, get on the list. Right.
Yep. Just give us a call. 872-5113 is the office. Kim will get you taken care of. I know last night she was there at 7:30. She ran in and made a couple maps for some stuff this morning, and so like I said, pretty much any time. So
good. Of course, the other question is, have you, on those windy days that you couldn't fly, did you get in a boat and catch some fish?
I may have been fishing a couple times this spring. So we fished at a national team circuit. And we've had 3 tournaments so far, and we had 1 in March, 2 in April. I just got home from Wisconsin a week ago. A week ago today, we were in a tournament in Wisconsin. Yeah. So we're sitting 7th in points right now in Team of the Year. So we're doing okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
that's got to be a really nice. I guess not in diversion might not be the right word, but. When you fly, you got to fly, and when you can't, you have something that you enjoy.
Yep. So a lot of times, though, like you said, if it's blowing 30, it's not.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is go beat yourself up on the lake. But sometimes it's good just to go for a couple hours.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that you're going to be flying here shortly, so we're going to let you go. But thanks for coming in.
Thank you guys. I enjoy it.
It's always good to see you, and have a great weekend. Some graduations, Mother's Day, and all that sort of thing going on. So
I suppose I should probably go find a card or something, huh?
Yeah, probably. Take it from a couple of guys who have learned the hard way. Yes, get a card.
Yeah, go get a card.
All right, we're going to play one more from Richie Foray for you. Poco on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Show, celebrating Richie Ferre's birthday today. Got a little music lined up for you from Billy Joel as well, who's having a birthday today. We'll get to that a little bit later on. I better check out the Prairie Pioneer Center menu here for you real quick. On this Friday, it's beef stew, cottage cheese, biscuits, and fruit. And don't forget that May is Older American Month, and they're flipping the switch on aging. They're having some programs this month. They just enjoyed R.P. Smith, and next week, May 15th, they're going to have a activity called Name That Song, so it should be fun.
Yeah, we say programs. It's kind of like it's more like entertainment.
Yeah.
Just so you folks know that. Yeah. So yeah, they're going to kind of name that song coming up next week on Thursday.
All right. Let's see if you folks out there can answer the question and win yourself a prize here on The Breakfast Show. Trivia up next.
All right, yeah, we've been asking questions about moms, testing your knowledge about moms and their families who have been featured on classic television shows, with Mother's Day coming up this weekend. Here's your question for today. This mother co-starred with her true life stepson. She was instrumental in helping her 5 children by becoming a major success in the music business. Now, this is on the show.
Okay.
What was the name of this on-the-go mom? Was it Sharon Osbourne, Ann Romano, Helen Girardi, or Shirley Partridge? This mom co-starred with her true-life stepson. She was instrumental in helping her 5 children on the show becoming a major success in the music business. What was the name of this on-the-go mom? Was it Sharon Osbourne, Ann Romano, Helen Girardi, or Shirley Partridge? If you know, call us at 872-2801.
And action!
It's Dave and Brent getting the action started on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
Graduation Day, Mother's Day, Memorial Day, all special events that say spring is here. So, to celebrate, Bow Family Furniture, East Highway 2 in Broken Bow invites you to save on genuine Lazy Boy furniture through the month of May. Every piece of Lazy Boy on our showroom floor, recliners, sofas, and love seats, even sectionals, they're all on sale. Come in and say for yourself. There's only one place to go for great selection and low prices on Lazy Boy. Bow Family Furniture, quality furniture, family prices.
Do you have a laundry list of projects to do around your home? Refresh your space by completing the list of home improvement projects with the help of a HELOC from Burning Bank. If an updated look is not enough and you're ready to buy a new home, we can help with that too. Navigating a home purchase can be confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let our friendly, experienced staff guide you to owning the home of your dreams. You can apply in person, online at burningbank.com, or give us a call at 308-872-2757 to get you started. Burning Bank, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 473773, member FDIC.
We have Karen on the line. Thanks for holding, Karen. How are you?
Just fine. How are you guys?
Oh, really, really good. Really good. Ready for a busy weekend?
Yes.
All right. All right. Here's Brent with the question.
All right, this mother co-starred with her true-life stepson. She was instrumental in helping her 5 children on the show by becoming a major success in the music business. Was that Sharon Osbourne, Ann Romano, Helen Girardi, or Shirley Partridge?
Shirley Partridge.
Yes, of course. It was the Partridge family. And because you've answered correctly, and because it's going to be in the 80s today, we're going to give you a free Blizzard. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
All right, we'll have a coupon here for you to get you a Blizzard treat at Dairy Queen in Broken Bow, so just come on out and see us when you can.
All right, thank you. Guys, have a good day.
Hey,
you
thanks.
too. It is 7:57. Chicago Pope rooted for the White Sox.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. You were hoping Cubs, but he must be a White Sox fan somewhere near Chicago's South Side. There's a couple of middle-class families that call the newest Pope Uncle Bob. Leo the 14th was born. Robert Prevost and his older brothers are quick to correct some misconceptions that the new pope was born on the south side and grew up in suburban Dolton. And even though they changed the giant sign at Wrigley Field to read, "He's a Cubs fan," his family confirms the pope has always been a White Sox fan. So the new pope cannot help your Cubs, or will not, probably. Yeah. Sorry, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
With all the struggles that Cubs pitching is having right now, keeping guys healthy, I was kind of hoping he was a Cubs fan.
No, I guess not.
All right.
And that's the way Chicago is. If you live there, you probably aren't a fan of both teams. You're either a fan of the White Sox or the Cubs. You don't root for it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like New York, Mets and Yankees.
Yeah.
You're either one or the other.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much middle ground.
Well, sorry, Brent. I know you had your hopes up there.
It's okay. It's all right.
But yeah. So far, it's been interesting. The reception that he is getting has been wonderful. People are excited about having him be with us, for, gosh, however long. It's a lifelong appointment, and we could be having an American Pope for 20, 25 years. So it's going to be interesting to see. But he is not a Cubs fan.
All right.
Sorry. We'll check out Ansley Lumber, and then we'll check out the news.
The Breakfast Show
Don't know what I'd do without them. They're awesome.
on KCNI KBBN.
Building something big or just tackling a do-it-yourself project, whatever your vision, they've got the supplies you need to make it happen at Ansley Lumber and Supply. From lumber to paint, tools to hardware, Ansley Lumber and Supply has it all. With top-quality products at unbeatable prices. And with their friendly expert staff, you'll get the advice you need to get your job done right. Visit them today in downtown Ansley at Ansley Lumber and Supply. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30. Open Saturday, 8 until noon.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Pope Leo XIV celebrated his first Mass as Pope at the Sistine Chapel this morning. His older brothers John and Louis Prevost says he always wanted to be a priest.
You know how some kids like to play war and be soldiers? He wanted to play priest.
And we just teased, you're going to be the Pope.
It's Victory Day in Russia. Russia celebrated the defeat of Nazi Germany with a huge military parade in Moscow. President Vladimir Putin was joined by the presidents of China and Brazil. The attorney for the Menendez brothers will ask a Los Angeles judge today to recuse the entire DA's office from their resentencing case. CBS legal contributor Jessica Levinson says asking to have DA Nathan Hochman thrown off the case is one thing.
Bringing a motion to have the entire district attorney's office be thrown off the case is certainly an aggressive move. I think it is one that's going to face an uphill battle.
CBS News Brief. I'm Michael Wallace.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Here's a look at Nebraska news. In a story released by KSMB, the Jacob Fisher Rainbow Fountain in Hastings will be open today and remain on until Labor Day weekend. The lighted fountain stands near the Hastings Utilities Department at 12th Street and Denver Avenue. Crews completed multiple tasks in order to get the lighted fountain up and running. This includes washing the fountain down to eliminate dirt from the winter, closing the drains, getting water services turned back on, including getting water lines flushed of leaves, filling the fountain, and testing the pumps. All of the programming shows and lights were reviewed to make sure they were current and working properly. The fountain was painted at the end of 2024 season in preparation for this year. The Jacob Fisher Rainbow Fountain is a local and regional landmark that draws numerous crowds to its location throughout the summer months. Originally meant to be a temporary exhibit at the 1932 Adams County Fair, it was relocated to Highland Park, the municipal park located in front of the Hastings Utilities main offices, in 1933. It was a sign of hope for local and area citizens during the Depression and Dust Bowl days of the 1930s. The Rainbow Fisher Fountain, the largest of its kind between Denver and Chicago, remains a source of great community pride today. Its name was derived from 2 winning essays written by young school children in an effort to name the structure. Jacob Fisher was the mayor of Hastings when the park was first developed. The Rainbow Fountain describes the many changing colors of lights that accompany the varying arrays of water sprays that reach heights of 60 feet. This has been a Nebraska News Update. I'm Jack Simpson reporting for Central Nebraska's News Source.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Monsi Bolaños.
The Timberwolves outscored the Warriors 117-93 in Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals to even the series at 1 apiece. Julius Randle led the way for Minnesota with 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 11 assists. Draymond Green received his 5th technical foul of the playoffs, and this is what he had to say after the game.
I look like the angry black man. I'm not an angry black man. I'm a very successful, educated black man with a great family. And I'm great at basketball. I'm great at what I do. The agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
Game 3 will be on Saturday. In baseball, Dodgers ace Yoshinobu Yamamoto gave up a season-high 6 hits, including a grand slam, to Gabriel Moreno as the Diamondbacks outscored the Dodgers 5-3. The Phillies completed a 3-game sweep of the Rays with a 7-6 win in 10 innings, and the Braves walked it off against the Reds 5-4 in 11 innings.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Bright sunshine today with daytime highs approaching 83. Westerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, lows level off around 47. High temperatures reach up to 85. Tomorrow, clear skies. Dry with temperatures well above average Sunday and Monday and highs in the mid-80s. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
It's true, many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than preparing for retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, I agree, and I'd like to help. I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Tim McCaslin.
And I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Janet Lawhorn.
Together, we can give your long-term retirement strategy the attention it deserves. Stop by our office on the north side of the square in Broken Bow or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
8:07, let's go outside and see what it really feels like with Jack Simpson. Jack, what's it like out there?
Well, good morning. Before we get to the weather, just an observation I can kind of see right now out at the Berean Bible Church. I think it's a Black Hills Energy pickup parked down on the road. It looks like he's maybe spray painting or something along the road, so just be aware of that if you're coming around the curve from Myrna. It's a beautiful feeling morning, 50 degrees outside, sunny skies. Calm winds out of the west, barometric pressure at 30.24, humidity at 86%. No rain in the last 24 hours, the precipitation for this month at 34 hundredths. High yesterday of 79, overnight low of 42. Sunrise today was at 6:25 and sunset today 8:44. The robin is keeping her eyes on me.
Oh, so you're out back.
I am out back today, yep.
And there's either a mom or a dad on the nest.
Yep.
Because I think robins switch, don't they? Don't they help one another out?
I wouldn't know.
I think so. I think they take turns.
Got it.
So one goes out, finds a worm. The other one keeps the eggs warm.
Gotcha.
And they're not moving. They're staying there then, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm kind of at a safe distance. It's just looking at me right now. So.
All right. I can hear them chirping.
Yep.
Any snake sightings?
I have not seen our friend Winchester yet, no.
Okay, well, let us know if you see him.
I sure will.
Thank you, Jack.
You're welcome.
That's the story. That's what it feels like outside.
Only person on staff that would actually name a snake out here is Jack.
Winchester. Well, I hope they get along all right back there.
Yeah.
All right, we mentioned it's Billy Joel's birthday today, and he is 78 today, and this is one of his all-time big ones called Piano Man. the demands of all livestock producers, providing watering and fencing products of all kinds, from barbed wire to hedge posts, creosote post pipes and panels. Give Moline Seed and Fence a call and have their team help you lay out your next project. Call 308-529-0781 or visit them on their web at molineseedandfence.com.
Congratulations to all the graduates from Custer County Exteriors. Your hard work is paid off, and they're excited to see what the future holds for each of you. Just like a solid home exterior with reliable gutters, soffit, and fascia, a strong foundation sets you up for success. Enjoy this milestone and take pride in all you've accomplished. Custer County Exteriors is cheering you on. For your next project, give Nate a call at 402-641-3246.
8:15 is your time here on The Breakfast Show. Good to have you along. Big thank you goes out to Casey Williams with Aero Aviation. It was great having Casey in to talk about their spray service, aerial spray service all over this area. We're going to stay with growing things and plants and so forth. Ryan Anderson is here from the Garden Center. Excuse me, Ryan. You've been busy.
A little bit. Yeah. That time of year.
Yeah, very good, though. I did stop in here a week or so ago, and we thought the PTA deal was that weekend because there were so many people carrying things out of your store, and we realized, no, that's just happened. And so they were just that many people and shopping. That's great.
Yeah, we've had, some pretty nice weather here the last 10, 12 days or so, and there's still the question is it too early to plant? I don't know the answer to that one, but the forecast looks pretty good for the foreseeable future. So
yeah, it really does. And also, is it too late to get a Mother's Day gift at your store?
No, you got till Sunday.
And will you be open on Sunday?
Yep, 11 to 4.
So you could even get there.
Just bring Mom in.
There you go.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Let Mom pick something out.
Yeah. And if she isn't available, get her a gift certificate, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
We got a lot of hanging baskets. The rails are full of those and a lot of different variety there. So if that's something you're looking for her, then stop by and take a look at what we have. So
yeah, it's hard to go wrong with those. They're so darn pretty. And you can get all different colors and I assume some different sizes that you can get depending on. I know that sometimes you think they're going to hang them and they end up putting them out on a little table or something out on the porch too. So it's very, very good gift.
Yep. Just because they're hanging when you buy them doesn't mean they have to stay that way. You can cut the hangers off and put them in a pot or whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right. And you mentioned the challenge for you right now is keeping the inventory full because people are really in the mood right now.
Yep.
I'm sure you have more coming in.
Yep. We're not done stocking yet, so we always try to keep stuff coming in. We'll be bringing stuff in as long as we can, but hopefully through the first part of June. Vegetables look pretty good right now. Got lots of tomatoes, lots of peppers, sweet peppers, hot peppers. Shelves are loaded up with that kind of stuff. All the garden stuff and the flower side looks pretty good too. So
just keeping up with all the different varieties of those, especially I think tomatoes has a crazy amount of different types that people like to try or proven for them that works really good.
Yep.
All the different types. What are some of the ones you have there?
I had a lady tell me the other day that I had too many choices. So, and I don't. A couple of years ago, we counted them, or I counted them as I was watering one morning, and I stopped counting at 30.
Oh my gosh!
But a good one I like is Mortgage Lifter. It's an heirloom tomato. It's a beefsteak, and it's really meaty. Not a whole lot of seeds. It's a good slicer for BLTs and stuff. So
ooh, that sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least 30 different varieties of tomato plants.
Yep.
Wow. Well, I think they can make a decision on different ones or stick with the one that they like, whatever. But you're well stocked for that.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Still thinking about not? Are you thinking about maybe putting a garden in?
No.
Not even a little bit.
Sorry, that just really wasn't a very good response with Ryan sitting here, was it?
You got a garden guy here.
I tell you what, I'll come over and help you in your garden. How's that?
I'll accept your help. My garden's not real big, but if you're going to help me, I could expand it.
There you go. Yeah.
We have a little, and maybe that's something to talk about. Our garden is a little bit shaded, so we struggle with that a little bit. I think there has been a little tree trimming just took place with the city came in and put a new pole in, so they've done a little bit of trimming. But how much sun a day do you need?
I mean, most of the garden plants and stuff, you need a fair amount of sun. Yeah. You know, it's always good to have a little bit of maybe afternoon shade or something. But when you start to see plants like wilt in the afternoon, that's kind of their sun defense mechanism. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing because in the evening they open up. Yeah. You water them in the next morning and, you know, they kind of fold up during the daytime. But that, like I said, that's just their defense mechanism against the sun. So, but I mean, everything in a garden needs a fair amount of sun to produce.
Now I'm going to redeem myself here just a little bit because we just kind of have one of those places. We just don't have a spot for a garden, but what we would like to landscaping. We have some spaces. One of the spots is on the north side of the house where it stays cooler. We've got trees. The sun doesn't come in. But we were thinking, I don't know, about shrubs or something like that, kind of to fill in some spots along the house. I'm sure you've got plenty of things that you can recommend for people who just want to do some landscaping.
Yeah, we're loaded up with perennials right now. We've got some nice looking shrubs and stuff in. Kind of to go along with that, we have good shade trees in right now, fruit trees. Lots of that kind of stuff in. So, yeah.
Mulch and everything. You got everything people need for that.
Yep. We got plenty of the shredded cedar in bags, and then we also got our bulk mulch in. Just got a load of washed river rock yesterday and replenished that. So, and of course, we have some bagged rock and stuff out front. So,
Ryan, talk a little bit about making sure on the mulch side of things that you're laying down quality mulch, because it can create some problems if you buy cheap and you get cheap. I'm not sure it's worth it.
Yep. You'd like to think mulch is created equal, but we've experimented with some different stuff, and it's more expensive. We sell our shredded cedar for $10.99 a bag, which is maybe not as much as we should, but we have people come back for it. You know, they've tried other mulches. They come back because the shredded cedar stays in place in the wind a lot better. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
And it also, when you put it down right, which is probably a 3 to 4 inch layer of it, you go through the season and that creates your weed barrier. And so you don't need to go in with a weed barrier necessarily underneath it, because what you're wanting that mulch to do is break down into the soil. And if you put the weed barrier in it, then, the mulch can't break down right. But every year you go in and just, once you get your initial investment in of that mulch, then every year you just go in and top dress it. You don't tear up your mulch. You go in and top dress it, and you keep that weed barrier in place of the mulch.
That's good advice. And I would imagine if you put a black barrier down, it's a little tougher to get that mulch to stay there too, I think.
Correct. Yeah. Especially, I mean, I don't know, several years ago, before my time at the garden center, I mean, you could buy rolls of plastic and put down, and then the wind would get lifting that a little bit.
Yeah.
And your mulch goes flying off. And
it doesn't stay as well. I've experienced that as well.
Yeah.
But I think your price is right. The quality's there, and I'm sure there's some discount stores here and there that will sell it for less, but it's not as good, and it caused some problems. Sometimes it's amazing what you can find in cheap mulch.
Mm-hmm.
What goes in the bags more than mulch. So,
sure. Yeah. We did change our supplier on our bulk mulch, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing there. It's we had been using shredded cedar.
Mm-hmm.
This is a different product or a different supplier, and it's shredded, I think, more so than the cedar. It's not as big a chunks as we used to get, but kind of excited to try it out. And it came out of Kearney, and they use it a lot down there, and so kind of excited to get that going a little bit. So,
and that's bulk. You bring your pickup or bring your trailer, and you have a loader back there to load up what they need, and you don't have to mess with the bags.
Right.
But you do usually do that when you have a lot of ground to cover.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Otherwise, the bags are kind of convenient.
Right.
Yeah.
Carrying them back to your spot that you can't get up to. So.
Yeah. Oh man, you got a lot of things going on. Also, mulch kind of makes you think of trees. How important it is to have that mulch barrier around your trees when we start mowing and weed eating, especially the weed eater. You've talked about that. That can damage a tree for life if you take a chunk out of it when it's young, especially.
Yeah. So you girdle a tree with a weed eater and probably replacing it. So.
Yeah. Speaking of lawns and mowing, it's I don't know. We're going to be watering lawns every day all summer long the way this is going, but we got to, or we're going to be replanting next spring or this fall.
Yep.
So I know that you have all the different applications, fertilizers and weed killers and that sort of thing to go along with that.
Yep. So we're probably moving past the stage of a pre-emergent now. We got a lot of weeds and stuff coming up already, so we're probably looking at like a weed and feed or a weed out. It's a granular, you spread it on. It's gonna take care of the weeds that are growing now, and also give your lawn a little boost with the fertilizer. And then of course here in June we'll start with green maker and grub control. So both products are available, and all of our steps have iron in the bags, so not everybody's does, and the iron in the fertilizer helps green up your lawn. So, but that's something that ours offer. So.
Okay, all right. And you have plenty of trees to plant?
Yep, got a good selection of shade trees, lindens, maples, some American elm. Hitting on a few there.
Yeah, you got a few there, and more than that.
Yeah.
And before we close, and we can come back and recap whatever you want to recap or talk about what maybe we haven't talked about yet, but I would think Mother's Day would be a great day to present Mom with some patio furniture.
Yeah, get her a swivel glider set to sit out front.
Yeah, and you have some of that in stock?
Yes, we got a pretty good display of it inside, different options you can choose from, and of course different colors. And then if not only do we have what we have at the store, we also got some in a warehouse, so we can kind of if she picks the right color or whatever, some of that we have in stock too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, great furniture, lasts forever, very comfortable, looks great on the patio, and the wind doesn't blow it away. So it's a win-win-win. It's an investment, but it's worth it.
You bet.
And Mom will be loving it. Father's Day's not too far away. Maybe you ladies out there might reciprocate and buy some more furniture for
There
Dad.
you go. Get a matching set.
Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah. Still time to get in and get flowers and gift certificates and all that sort of thing for Mom. And you mentioned you are open on Sunday.
Yep. We're running 7 days a week. We will through the end of June. So.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted to mention?
I don't think so.
Just keep coming, folks, and they'll take care of you. You got a great crew there, and your wife's always smiling and friendly. I enjoy seeing Liz anytime, but it's
glad she is for you.
Well, I understand completely, Ryan. Most of us can understand that. Well,
no, she's good.
She's great, and working together, husband and wife team. That's not something everybody can do. So it looks like that's working for you. But you got other crew members too that are there to help, and
absolutely
busy times and all sorts of things. And I think the gift certificate idea works really good. So get in there. You can even go in there Sunday morning at 11 if you're procrastinating for Mother's Day.
We've had that happen a couple times.
I bet you have. Oh my God! Yeah. I forgot to get this, or I was going to get there and didn't. But being open on Sunday's great, and you'll do that through June. So.
Yep.
All right, Ryan. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll take a time out with these words on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
You're waking up with the Breakfast Show. KCNI, KBBN Radio.
I love it.
The Polaris Ranger is set up with all the comforts to keep you rolling from sun up to sundown. Agland ATV stocks their Polaris lineup with the machines that best suits the needs of the farmers and ranchers of central Nebraska. Our shop crew takes pride in providing you with the best service to take on the tough jobs day in and day out. Check out the 2025 lineups as you tackle your spring projects with Agland ATV and Broken Bow. Always wear a helmet, never drink and ride.
Online at aglandatv.net. Agland ATV, Broken Bow.
May is Beef Month, and we're celebrating big. Win a quarter of beef, a 7 cubic foot freezer, and 3 bold bearded hog barbecue seasonings in our grand prize giveaway. Second and third place snag an 8-pound prime rib and savory steer seasoning. Register all May at participating local businesses or by tuning in to The Breakfast Show. Get full contest details at sandhillsexpress.com. Don't wait. Beef up your chances to win today.
It's as simple as something that nobody knows it. Her eyes are as big as her bubbly toes on the feet of a...
We're talking toes today.
Is that the body part you're saluting with our music today is toes?
Toes.
All right.
Yes. And what do you put on your toes every morning?
I don't know.
Socks.
Oh, socks. Yes, of course. I didn't know where you were going with that.
I didn't want to know if you put like some sort of Sullivan on them. I don't know. But this is National Lost Sock Memorial Day. So it kind of goes with our theme.
Lost Sock Memorial Day.
Yes.
Wow.
Today, we remember all the socks that went into the dryer to never be seen again. We all have socks that are missing their partners. It's one of life's unexplained phenomena. If you haven't found them by now, you're not going to. So be brave and bid them goodbye forever. Recycle those remaining single socks, or maybe turn them into sock puppets. Either way, just let it go.
That was beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
That touched me.
Well, I'm glad. Touched you like a toe. I don't have a lot.
All right. Now, this is the one thing that I remember this growing up. I always just seriously marveled at my grandmother, who would, you called it darning, right?
Darning, yeah.
Darning the socks. You get holes in the toes of your socks, and Grandma, my goodness, man, she could sew those things up to where they were stronger than when you pulled them out of the package. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I still remember just watching her do it. I marveled at it.
It is a marvel because if you sewed them incorrectly where they were bunched up or had a hard edge to them, then you would get a blister if they aren't repaired properly. But certain people, such as grandmothers, could darn a sock and make it as comfortable as it was before.
Yep.
So if you still have somebody who can do that, you might be able to wear your socks longer. If you lose one of your socks, this is National Lost Sock Memorial Day.
Is there, for me, listen, I'll just be honest, that is one of the top frustrations of my life. Right? I mean, you wash your socks, you pull them out of the dryer, and you start matching them up, and you start putting them together, and then there's, one that just, okay, where's the other one?
Mm-hmm. And there's also this part of it. If you like to keep your socks a long time, and they change to where maybe they don't stay up on your ankles as well as they used to, but you still like them, and you want them matched because you don't want one sock that's tight around your shin and the other one falling down, even though they might be the same color. So you have to keep the pairs together if at all possible, because the older ones won't match up with the new ones. It's a complicated thing.
It is. And it causes stress in your life.
It can.
Let me ask you this. You have a pair of socks. You go get them. You put them on. One, like we talked about, one has a hole in them.
Mm-hmm.
The other one's fine. But there's one now that has a hole, and the big toe's sticking out. You're like, I can't live like this.
Oh, no.
So now here's the dilemma, at least for me. Do you throw the pair away? Or do you just throw away the sock with the hole in it and hang on to the other one, thinking that somewhere down the road it'll have a match? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That is a good question. These are sock dilemmas that people can have.
Yeah.
Now,
causes stress in your life.
Yeah. Now, the socks that I happen to wear have an L and an R on the sock itself. So it's left-right, of course.
Yeah.
And I find myself never putting the R on the left foot or vice versa. So in the morning, And this new pair I have, the L and the R are not very easy to see. And so you have to go to the kitchen where the light's brighter to put them on to make sure you get the R on the right and the L on the left. This is true. That's how important socks are.
Yes. And it also demonstrates how pathetic Brent and Dave's lives are. that we're having a 5-minute discussion on socks. Wow.
That may be. That may be. But I bet you there's a whole bunch of listeners out there going, yeah.
That's true. Absolutely. Yeah. We all go through it.
First of all, I don't think there's anybody out there I shouldn't say anybody. There's always an exception. But most people cannot stand a hole in the toe.
No.
It drives you crazy.
It does drive you crazy.
And so you put it in, and you think, well, when I put it in my shoe, I'm going to fold it back. So my toe won't stick through the hole. Well, after you walk around a little while, it shifts in the shoe, and lo and behold, there's your big toe sticking out the end of the sock.
I wear out the heels in my socks.
The heels?
Yeah, seriously. I don't know what it is about my heel, but it'll wear through the heel portion of the sock. And I don't like that because then your heel like sticks to the sole of your shoe inside.
Well, you get a blister, wouldn't you?
Well, it's not up high. It's just kind of down low.
That's where you need to go.
On the bottom of the heel.
I'm going to say that's like a tire. you might want to go have your walk looked at. I know you've been doing a lot of walking. You need to go see a therapist of some kind, and have them analyze your stride, because it's like a tire and it's wearing on the outer edge. That means you're out of alignment.
Oh, okay, all right.
Actually, socks can tell you a lot, can't they?
I guess we're finding that out.
Yeah, we started out with. I don't have a lot of Toes songs that I found this morning. I just played Bubble Toes from Jack Johnson. We're going to play a few more.
You're not going to play Tiptoe Through the Tulips, are you?
No, but I got one here I want to play for you. This is a Toe song, and I think you'll enjoy it.
My sandals let them show, show, show. The sun makes them glow, glow, glow. Everybody, don't you know, now, now. I'm talking about my toes, toes, toes. Let me tell you about my toes, toes, toes. Yes, my tippy, tippy toes, toes, toes. Come on, everybody, show, show, show. How you love your toes, toes, toes. Let me tell you about my toes.
Wow, love it. Let me tell you about my toes.
Yeah. We just told you about our socks, but I don't think we want to go into our own toes.
No, I don't think so.
Toes can be attractive. There's more and more people who spend a lot of time on their toes, putting colors on it and sparklies and so forth. And there are toes that are pretty and complement the feet. And then there's toes that cross over one another, and maybe you can't keep a nail on one of your toes, so you have a nailless toe. And everybody, for the most part anymore, wears open shoes casually or even at work. And you don't want to get caught looking at people's toes. They might be ugly, they might be so-so, they might be beautiful, but toes have a lot of different personalities.
Well, toes have personalities. That's interesting. Yeah.
Well, don't you think they do? I mean,
well, I guess. Yeah.
I think they're interesting. And
yes.
What do you do with wild toes that are crossing one another and crisscrossing, and one sticks out one way in your sock? Then you wear your socks out quicker too, because you got maybe a little toe that wants to go out to the side.
Yeah. Have you ever broke a toe?
No.
I have felt like I have, but I don't think I ever have.
That is not a good thing to break, because there's not much they can do with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of deal with the type. I suppose they could put a little cast on a toe. I suppose they do in some cases.
I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Here's the Zac Brown Band with Toes. That's a beat serving their customers after the twister took the roof off their building, but they're back there now, so good job, guys. Congratulations to you. And look forward to many more years of service from Culligan. Well, this is also a special day for kids of all ages, including, well, wait, before we move to this, I want to respond to a note that came in here. It says, Dave, stop with the foot fetish. All right, Logan, next time I see you, I'm going to ask to see your toes.
Oh, my.
It's National Alphabet Magnet Day.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Now, if you have grandkids or you have kids growing up or have had kids, you probably sometime or another had some those letters on a fridge.
Yep.
And they're great because they're different colors. They can learn colors. Also, of course, the alphabet. And they can also have sensory functions improved just by putting them in a row and lining them up. So it is National Alphabet Magnet Day. I remember them well. I think they have to be so big now because they're dangerous if they're smaller. Kids get them in their mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, but we didn't think about that back then, what they were going to do with them when they weren't sticking them on the fridge. And they're more careful about that these days. But what a great way to learn the alphabet.
Absolutely.
Yep. Your kids do that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sure. I think one of the coolest things is when your child is just kind of learning how to spell.
Yeah.
And then you walk out and they have put "love you" on the fridge with the magnetic letters.
Yeah, or mom.
Yeah, or mom,
Anything.
dad, whatever. Yeah.
Yep. Start spelling.
There you go.
We'll be right back.
When severe weather occurs, the outcomes can be devastating. Ranky understands cleaning up and returning to normal can be a long process. The trained personnel at Central Nebraska Diesel are ready to assist you in getting your irrigation system back in running order. With a variety of services available, equipment, and repair parts, Central Nebraska Diesel can provide the help you need. Working together with Central Nebraska Diesel and Ranky will ensure your irrigation needs are met. Contact Central Nebraska Diesel, your local Ranky dealer, and see what they can do for you.
Duda Plumbing, the guys you want when you need a new septic system or your existing system needs a good pumping. With Scott and Colton boasting over 40 years of experience, they know a thing or two about keeping things flowing smoothly. Don't wait until your backyard or basement smell like a swamp. Get on their schedule for a pump every 2 years. For the really tough spots, their sewer camera can spy on what their eyes can't catch. For over 40 years, Duda Plumbing, where they do the plumbing.
Congratulations to the bright, determined seniors of the area from Barney Pharmacy. It's time to celebrate. Not only the graduates, but the mothers as well. Shop beautiful jewelry from Norell and Montana Silversmith. Gifts and decor 20% off. If you want to add something sweet to your gift, Russell Stover and Baker's Chocolates as well as gourmet popcorn are 10% off. Don't forget free gift wrap and a card. They have a great selection for Mother's Day and graduation. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 5:30, and Saturdays, 8:30 to 12:30. Barney Pharmacy, Broken Bow.
Are you or someone you know struggling with depression, anxiety, trauma, or other mental health challenges? Do you wonder where you can get help and support locally? An online list is ready and available for you that includes local, trained, caring mental health providers. Visit mhpcc.org. Mental health providers and services available in Custer County can be found quickly and easily at mhpcc.org.
Brett and Dave with you here on the Breakfast Show. Mother's Day coming up on Sunday. Got some fun facts for you real quick.
Okay.
More phone calls are made on Mother's Day than any other day of the year. About 122 million calls will be made on average. It's the busiest day of the year for restaurants, especially for brunch. The word mama was invented by babies.
Ah.
Ma is usually the first sound an infant can vocalize. That's why most every language uses some form of it for mother or mom. When you think about it, that makes sense.
Yeah, sure it does.
And it also frustrates dad because they'll usually say ma before they say dada.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times they're not really saying dad. There's just dada.
Mm-hmm.
It's just coming out. I guess mom as well. But anyway, that's the facts on Mother's Day.
All right.
Give your mom a call. Stop and see her. Send her a card. Do whatever you need to do, but let her know that moms are important. We talked about that earlier this week about the average salary for a mom should be about $175,000 or $45,000. I can't remember. $145,000, I think.
Yeah.
For all the things they do.
Mm-hmm.
Hello to a mom down in Arkansas. Do you mind if I read that card again?
Yeah.
I just want to read the
Go ahead.
Just read the one part.
Yeah.
Thanks for being so good to Brent. You're a special guy to all of us. Thanks again, Mom. God, that is just...
Thanks, Dave.
Just
Thanks.
so
Thanks
special.
for being good to me.
Yeah, anytime, buddy.
Hey, you were talking about the alphabet letters.
Yeah.
And I was saying kids kind of learn how to spell. They might surprise you with love you or something on the fridge. They can also use them to let you know what's not in the fridge. Just start, need milk.
Yeah. Well, that's not a bad idea for adults, really, if you have an alphabet.
Exactly. Yeah. I think they've been used for that, actually. I'm going to guess they have been.
Yeah. Out of cereal, need milk.
Yes, exactly.
All of that. Cheese is bad.
Yeah.
Bad
Right.
cheese.
Yeah. Need more hot dogs.
Chips. There's all sorts of little short.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We'll take a time out. We'll come back with the news. Stay tuned.
The music to get your day started right.
I listen every morning.
The Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
The Nebraska State Bank family wants to take a moment to congratulate all the area graduates. From judging their 4-H and FFA events to teaching them in the classrooms to helping referee their sporting events, throughout the years, they've had the privilege of watching these students grow and flourish. And they look forward to watching them succeed and thrive after graduation. Henry David Thoreau once said, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined." Everyone at NSB wishes our graduates a happy journey to accomplishing their dreams. Nebraska State Bank, Broken Bow, Myrna, and Callaway. Member FDIC.
Some secrets just can't be kept, like the May hours for the Secret Garden. They're open every day in May. Weekdays 11:30 to 4:30, Saturday 8:30 to 4:30, Sunday 1 to 4. The variety of annual plants and succulents are beautiful and ready to brighten any space, and they'd love to plant your pots for you. Don't forget you can check out the Secret Garden inventory online at thesecretgardenonline.com. And remember them for sympathy and memorial gifts too. Luke 1 verse 37 says, "For nothing will be impossible with God." The Secret Garden, 2 1/4 miles west of Myrna on Highway 92 and a half a mile north.
Are you having trouble getting your spring work done? Don't let that back and neck pain keep you inside. Call Team Physical Therapy at 872-5111. We are your spine specialist and want you to keep moving. Team Physical Therapy will help you get rid of that neck or back pain and get you back outdoors. Call your movement rehabilitation specialist at 872-5111 or check us out on the web at myteampt.com.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Breaking news, the Supreme Court has announced retired Justice David Souter has died. He was appointed by President George H.W. Bush in 1990 and retired in 2009. President Obama replaced him with Justice Sonia Sotomayor. David Souter was 85. Pope Leo XIV celebrated his first Mass as pontiff at the Vatican this morning. His older brother, John Prevost, tells CBS Mornings how he got the news yesterday.
First, I didn't believe it at all. I just thought, maybe I'm dreaming. Then it's a moment of extreme pride. Eventually, reality sets in and you think, there goes the rest of his life. Now he's got awesome responsibilities.
CBS's Jared Hill reports President Trump has chosen Fox News host Jeanine Pirro to serve as U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C.
The nomination of his first pick, Ed Martin, pulled after losing support in the Senate. Pirro's false statements about voter fraud in the 2020 election were part of a lawsuit brought by Dominion Voting Systems against the network.
CBS News Brief, I'm Michael Wallace.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly. Get the full exterior car care experience with the Pro X1 Car Care Collection Wash Kit, only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. The kit includes all-wheel tire and cleaner, glass cleaner, snow foam car wash, and a microfiber wash mitt. Get the essentials in one box for just $19.99. Choose Pro X1 exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Monsi Bolaños.
The Timberwolves outscored the Warriors 117-93 in Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals to even the series at 1 apiece. Julius Randle led the way for Minnesota with 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 11 assists. Draymond Green received his 5th technical foul of the playoffs, and this is what he had to say after the game.
I look like the angry black man. I'm not an angry black man. I'm a very successful, educated black man with a great family. And I'm great at basketball. I'm great at what I do. The agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
Game 3 will be on Saturday. In baseball, Dodgers ace Yoshinobu Yamamoto gave up a season-high 6 hits, including a grand slam, to Gabriel Moreno as the Diamondbacks outscored the Dodgers 5-3. The Phillies completed a 3-game sweep of the Rays with a 7-6 win in 10 innings, and the Braves walked it off against the Reds 5-4 in 11 innings.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Bright sunshine today with daytime highs approaching 83. Westerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, lows level off around 47. High temperatures reach up to 85. Tomorrow, clear skies. Dry with temperatures well above average Sunday and Monday and highs in the mid-80s. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Located right in the beautiful sandhills of Nebraska, Kincaidor Brewing Company chose a name more than 10 years ago that gave a nod to those who came before them. From meeting in a homebrew club to serving all of Nebraska delicious beer, Kincaidor Brewing Company, based in Broken Bow.
Currently, 64 degrees under a sunny sky. Winds are not a factor so far today and haven't been the last few days. Been kind of nice out of the west-northwest this morning at about 5 tops. Yesterday's high was 79. We will exceed that, no doubt, today. 3,400 precipitation measured so far this month. Really dry out there, folks, as you know. Citywide cleanup coming up on May 17th here in Broken Bow. Your community may be having one or already had one. I noticed in the Arnold Sentinel they were talking about it here a while back, and there will be cleanups of all kinds going on. The City of Broken Bow's tree dump will be open on Saturday, May 17th and Saturday, May 24th for free. So if you're needing to get some trees and branches and pallets, untreated lumber, unpainted lumber, grass clippings, yard waste, and that sort of thing, you can do that for free on the 17th and 24th. And there will be free collection sites between Tomahawk Park and Paul Brown Field from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. on Saturday, May 17th. And they ask that you follow the rules, and we'll get things cleaned up. Be nice. Do you have anything you want to contribute?
Yeah, I do have a few things. Yeah. Trying to get them together.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Yeah.
We're talking about some different things here today, toes and different things like that, socks. Eggs. I'd like to move to eggs.
Oh, okay.
If you don't mind.
All right.
Now,
how do you prefer your eggs?
Over easy.
Yes, I'm right there with you.
I like an omelet. Scrambled's good, but over easy for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
A little bread and butter along with that. Dunk them in there.
There you go.
Which do you think is the stronger part of the egg? In other words, if you drop an egg, what is less likely to crack, the side or the end of the egg?
Well, I guess it depends how you drop it, isn't it?
Well, let's make it scientific and kind of a scientific experiment.
Okay.
Let's say you drop the egg off of that table that you're in front of.
All right.
the same distance. There's no wind in here, nothing like that. So you just drop the egg right off the edge of the table. And you drop one off that lands on its end, and the other one lands on its side.
Okay.
Which one is more likely to crack and make a mess?
I've never really paid attention. I'm going to say the side.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Drop them on their side. Now that MIT scientists have determined that eggs are less likely to crack when they're dropped on their sides, high school students will have to do the egg drop challenges in science class a little bit differently. For some reason, researchers set out to test which part of the egg could withstand the fall the best. Contrary to popular belief, the end is not the strongest part of the egg after all. They found that the egg's equator bends a little, absorbing the shock of the fall better.
Wow.
I would have leaned towards the end being stronger and less likely to crack because it seems like it's harder on the ends.
Yes.
But they say, and you say, that...
Well, I've got to... Honestly, I meant the other. I meant if you dropped it on its side, it would be more apt to break than if... I was thinking the same way as you.
Okay.
Yes.
But we're both wrong.
Apparently.
The scientific study with MIT scientists proved that.
All right.
Now, this is information you can use, folks.
Another study.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy. I would have swore it would be the ends, but...
So when I hear MIT, I'm thinking, I'll just say it, I'm thinking brilliant people.
Oh, yeah.
Very smart, intelligent people.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their studies is to determine which part of the egg is the strongest.
Yes.
Or which part of the shell.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me. Okay.
Okay, let's give them a break.
All right.
Let's say, well, how many things that we have come to enjoy, conveniences and so forth in life, comes from observing nature. Okay, so just a very obvious one would be the Kitty Hawk, the first airplane to leave the ground. They would have had to have probably watched birds and figured out their bones are hollow. Their feathers lift them, and they look like they would weigh more than they do, and they fashioned the first airplane after a bird, I would think. All right. The shapes of things, for instance, submarines in the ocean, probably shaped after, either sharks or whales or something like that because of their shape. They go through the water easier. These are just my examples.
Yeah.
So what will they now do? Now they know the stronger portion of an egg, the structure is on the side, not the ends. So when they make containers emulating eggs, which hold something inside, a fluid or something like that, will they make the containers like the egg and know that they'll need to measure the pressure on the side of the container rather than the ends?
Wow, that was deep. Whew. I don't know. They're not going to change. They're not going to change the way they package the egg, though, because if you had to lay them on the side, then the container has to be bigger.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they won't do that.
Probably not.
Yeah. They'll keep standing them up on their end in the egg carton.
But if they want to make a container that holds dangerous chemicals.
Oh, okay. I'm following you.
Yeah. And they want to emulate nature.
I see. Okay.
They'll construct it like an egg.
Maybe.
But when you think of eggs, you think, they're easy to break, which they are.
I'm just going to say, do you believe it? Do you believe that if you drop an egg on its side, it's going to be stronger than if you drop it on its end? I'll be honest, I don't know. I'm very tempted. Do we have an egg? I'm tempted to do my own study.
Well, here's a maybe a thought with that.
All right.
Cars.
Okay.
Now, you always thought, I want one of those big old boats from the 1970s that had a big front end with a big bumper on it, and it was rigid and strong, and the steel is thick. It's not thin, paper thin like the cars of today.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is safer, the old boat that's built like a tank, or the cars of today where it's thin metal and easily dented and that sort of thing? I think that science has told us that a rigid frame in a car is more dangerous than one that flexes or is a no-frame car.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like an egg.
Yeah.
My brain is really tired.
I was just going to say, wow, you're really thinking today.
Jeez.
Wow, Dave.
We're going to get off the Toes subject today because we don't have any more songs. I did find some other Toes songs, but they weren't very good. So we've covered Toes now. We can go to Feet on Monday if you want. There's got to be some Feet songs.
I was going to ask you if that was going to transition us to the foot pretty soon.
And I don't know if I want to do that because Logan Govier will send me Dave Stop the Foot Fetish if we go with Feet on Monday. So maybe go to another body part. I don't know if there's any nose songs. Probably about being nosy.
I don't know. Little Jimmy Dickens had the song "May the Bird of Paradise Fly Up Your Nose." That's the only one that's coming to my mind.
Well, at least we got one.
There you go.
We'll see what we do on Monday with that. You mentioned you had a chance to hear and watch Alan Jackson perform at the Country Music Awards. And let's just finish out our music in this half hour with Alan Jackson, shall we?
Sounds good. Yes.
There's a couple things on his table he wants to tell you about, and I have a few things over here. So let's get going, Brent.
They're hiring at Off-Broadway Assisted and Independent Living in Broken Bow, now hiring part-time cook and also full-time housekeeping help. $100 sign-on bonus possible for each of those positions if they're filled. Come join a supportive, welcoming team dedicated to providing excellent care to their residents. If interested, contact Julie at 872-2522. That's 872-2522. Feel free to stop by in person at their location at 403 South First Avenue to pick up an application. Again, off-Broadway, assisted and independent living, looking for part-time cook and full-time housekeeping.
A reminder before we close the show today, we're going to give you a chance to text in, brought to you by CarQuest of Broken Bow and Culligan here in Broken Bow, to get your name in the registration for a chance to win our beef prizes. So be listening before we close the show. We'll be doing that in just a little bit.
You were talking about Mother's Day earlier, and one of the most popular things to do on Mother's Day is to take Mom out.
Yes.
Yeah, don't make her cook. Don't make her clean up after the cooking. Take her out. And what better place to take her out to than the Tumbleweed Cafe? They'll be open on Sunday with their regular Sunday buffet, so take Mom out, treat her in style, and take her to the Tumbleweed Cafe. Also, don't forget they serve daily specials Monday through Friday for lunch, and as we mentioned, their delicious Sunday buffet. Don't forget about the Wake and Bake Nook, open every Monday through Friday until 6. Each Monday through Friday from 6 to 11, they have some special things they'll cook up for breakfast, too. You'll find delicious breakfast items, including burritos, sandwiches, cinnamon rolls, biscuits and gravy, and more. And, of course, their Wake and Bake Nook features pre-made dishes like casseroles and such that you can pick up, take home, and then pop in the oven at your convenience so that you have a delicious hot meal ready to go when everybody gets home. Also, don't forget, they now have Cracker Jack's nightly food specials, delicious sports bar food like cheese cigars, wings, and clubhouse flatbreads, burgers, and such. It's Cracker Jack's attached there to the Tumbleweed Cafe. You can enjoy that in the evenings right here in Broken Bow, Nebraska.
All right, quick reminder that Adams Land and Cattle's Compost Day is tomorrow. This is the last day that they'll be doing this year, so stop out and pick up your free compost at the South Lot entrance on Highway 21, just outside of Broken Bow. You can do that tomorrow from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. And it looks like the weather's going to cooperate, so it should be a beautiful day to go out and pick up that free compost courtesy of Adams Land and Cattle. And I mentioned that we will be giving away some beef. Should mention those prizes to you. May the beef be with you. Promotion here on KCNI KBBN. Second and third place will be each winning an 8-pound prime rib roast and a bottle of Bearded Hog barbecue seasoning to cook it up right. The grand prize, a quarter of beef and a deep freeze to store it in, brand new out of Lines Appliances, plus 3 bottles of delicious Bearded Hog barbecue seasoning. And you can register at participating businesses, which include the Sargent Corner Market, Evans Feed in Broken Bow and Oconto, Chapin Square One Boutique in downtown Broken Bow, the Garden Center, the Grocery Cart, Gateway Motors, and RTA's Hardware here in town, and at Callaway, Agribest Feeds, right behind the community center there, Arnold's A1 Auto Repair, Arcadia, Moshka's Building Center and Greenhouse, and in Ansley, Sun Valley Landscaping. Those are your registration points that you can put your name and your phone number in and get yourself registered for a chance to win those great prizes. And you can also take part and text in, which we're going to be doing in a moment or two here. If you're wondering what the number is to text, let me get that for you. 870-0333. Not right now.
Okay.
But in a moment or two, because we're going to ask you a trivia question. You're going to have to answer the trivia question and then put your name and phone number on it, and that will get you in the registration. It's going to be a beef question.
Okay.
All right. I think we're caught up here. We got things pretty well set. We're going to get a little more Alan Jackson on for you.
All right.
And this one is a goodie. All his songs are great. Hard Hat and Hammer.
For over 50 years, Aero Aviation has been serving the area. Contact Casey to schedule your aerial application this spring.
And Casey was in this morning. Thank you, Casey, for dropping by. Also, Ryan Anderson with the Garden Center. Great conversations with those two business people and good citizens of the area. You ready?
Sure.
Before we do that, I wanted you to mention something.
Okay.
Stan.
All right.
Stan at the Whiskey Barrel. Now, have you seen his latest marquee sign?
I have not. I have not looked at the sign lately. I can only imagine, though, the words of wisdom that have been shared with the population.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Check it out. Be careful not, pay attention while you're driving, but
yeah,
take a look.
Yeah.
They always got something new on the marquee as you go by. And by the way, construction is the repair, the cement repair that was being done out west here on this end of town is now being done on the east end. And so they'll be cutting out bad spots and pouring cement. So you're going to be diverted off of that lane that they're working on. So kind of be careful right in through there. But again, the Whiskey Barrel's available just real easy right off the highway there. They've got it all, set up pretty nicely. But if you want to avoid that, you can come in the back way. There's a back drive to the Whiskey Barrel as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, busy times, a lot of people picking up maybe a little bubbly, some pop, adult beverages, all available at the Whiskey Barrel. And you get free ice with purchase. And they'll be open Mother's Day. They're open on Sundays. So they'll be there for your convenience. And you'll find that they don't have discounted prices, big fancy draw-in type of sales. They just have everyday fair prices at the Whiskey Barrel. They'd love to have you stop by. And if you're having some guests in town, take them with you. Take them to the Whiskey Barrel, and might be somebody that used to live here, might want to see Stan and some of the staff. They're all there ready to help you at the Whiskey Barrel in Broken Bow, Nebraska. This is Text In Trivia brought to you by CarQuest of Broken Bow and Culligan of Broken Bow. And what we do now is we throw out a question on the air, and you text the answer with your name and phone number included in the text. Here's the text number, 308-870-0333. Here's the question. What cut of beef is commonly used for making steak tartare?
Wow. Okay.
What cut of beef is used for making tartare? That's the question. Text 308-870-0333. And you've got 2 minutes and 31 seconds to get your text in. Here's Alan Jackson. or two. Juan says good morning, Dave and Brent, and enjoy Mother's Day with your respective mother.
Yeah, thanks, Juan.
Thank you very much. Logan suggests, he says belly buttons with a question mark.
That has to do with our music theme, correct?
I don't know if there's any belly button songs. I could think of a country song, though.
Oh? What's that?
My belly button is itching going down the dirt road.
What? Oh, you're thinking of just making a country song.
Yeah.
About belly buttons. I see. Okay.
My belly button's itching going down a red dirt road.
Wow.
And I stopped to see my sweetie, and we got in the back of the pickup and lit a campfire, had a bottle of whiskey. She had a cotton skirt on, and we had turned up the radio and listened to George Jones. We could write a song.
Wow.
Yeah. And then a train came by, and we couldn't hear the radio.
Yeah.
That's you spin off a belly button, you can get her done.
Yes, there you go.
We have learned a lot today, folks.
We have.
Belly button. Well, not belly button.
Boy, the conversations we've had today.
Toes and
socks.
Eggs, socks. I hope we've covered it all for you out there.
Yes.
And I hope you'll join us.
Well, we covered
on
the foot at least with talking about socks.
Yeah. Well, we still have feet left, so we can go back to that. But I think we'll go. Is there any tummy or stomach or belly songs?
I don't know.
There's got to be a country song, beer in my belly on a dirt road.
Yeah. I don't know.
I burnt my belly on the campfire on the dirt road. I spilt whiskey on my belly near the campfire on the red dirt road. We better go.
That's probably best. Have a good weekend.